let's do our next one. I have not had the opportunity to and Albert, I have not reacted to it, but I have seen it. So maybe I may do one of those in the near future. But this one, I've been waiting for a post from this man for so long. It's not on his main channel. This is on his secondary channel. But it is time for some internet historian. I have been waiting so long for him to put out a new video. This is on his Incognito channel. So I've been looking forward to this. Is it good, Spicy? Okay, I can't wait. I love Internet Historian. She doesn't put out anywhere near enough videos, so it's a bit of a longer one, so let's get into it. This should be fun. And here we go.
Brought to you by NordVPN. Exploration. Exploration! What is exploration? Ah, no one's climbed this one before. Whee! Witness this moment, vocal. Make a note, boy. Yeah, I used to plow once, but I've given it up. Now I'm more of an explorer. Maybe I should explore my sexuality. What the hell is that?
Mr. Internet Historian? That's penis. And considering you're in the bedroom, one has to wonder. Hi, Bloodbit, welcome.
Under the ocean, I'm afraid there's not much to see. A gun!
What the hell? That was the very definition. That was the very definition of, well, that escalated quickly. Is that what that's supposed to be a reference to? I don't know. Holy shit, that came out of nowhere.
First things first, a little bit of admin.
Yes.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month, thank you.
I just wanted to let you know, in honor of you, my friend, I'm going to avoid using any homophobic slurs for the rest of the month.
Well, maybe just for the next 10 minutes.
Look, I'm still going to say them, but I just won't say them with as much vitriol. How about that?
How about I'll pull a Tay-Zonde and pull away from the mic to say them?
You imagine that? Like, we're just having a chat, and then you just hear, like, a quiet slur, like, just in the mic.
Just
Wait, Tysell, they're really going to do a second submarine to prove that the first one was a fluke? Are you serious about that? There's no way. No fucking way. Oh, for fuck's sake. And what idiots are they going to get to be on board that thing? Nah, this isn't even a get the popcorn ready. This is like someone needs to take the baby's toys away. That's what this is. Someone needs to take the baby's toys away. Jesus.
just off in the distance. You're right. Did you say something?
No.
Nope.
No, I didn't.
And of course you've got your Discord set up so that like it's so sensitive that it picks up even the smallest sounds.
The best.
That's a really funny idea.
All right, what did you actually want to talk about?
We're flying to Hawaii in a couple of months. When you look at that on the map, oh boy, those dudes be out there. I feel like in general that would be quite a relaxing living for the last several thousand years. Just chilling, eating fish and fucking coconuts and stuff.
Yeah, I think it was fairly brutish as well. Like, Captain Cook, he died in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, he got run over by a Toyota Corolla, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And he got killed by the locals. And one of the reasons for that was they became very scared of the Europeans because this was their second voyage over. And the first time, someone went on the ship sick. They go, guys, does anyone have a cold? Does anyone have a flu? We're serious. You can't come. You can't come if you're sick. No, I swear, it's just my allergies. It's just the sea air. All right. And then they brought him along, and then he sneezed on one of the locals, and then 90% of the population died.
Just ran up and sneezed on him.
Isn't that the true case for like that? That's like the argument made for like not bothering every native tribe out there is, oh crap, I think my mic is peaking really bad. Like not bothering native tribes because they don't know illness and disease, and there's there is a serious risk of any outsider coming in and potentially spreading just the common cold could wipe out an entire tribe like that. Yeah, Tyso, it's one of the reasons. Absolutely. I mean, it was a joke in Ace Ventura When Nature Calls, where he said, like, they did not know disease until the white men arrived, and what's the first thing Ace does immediately after? He honks a big sneeze. So, it's the Prime Directive. You had it right the first time, Tyso. Yeah, I mean, it's an argument why nobody should be, interfering with any of the tribes that are, like, in the Amazon. Yeah, I mean, it makes perfect sense.
And then he went back to England or whatever. And in the meanwhile, the Hawaiians are going, what the heck? They put a curse on us. And then Captain Cook shows up again and he's going, I'm loving this. This was brilliant last time. They had coconut bras. They had coconut cocktails.
Coconut music.
Yeah. They didn't have horses, but they would clap the coconut halves together.
I'll tell you, Mr. Internet Historian. Now you're stealing Monty Python. Now you're stealing from Monty Python. I'm calling you on it. I'm calling you on it right now. I'm also really curious if this Captain Cook that they're talking about is the same Captain Cook that I know about, who was instrumental in, like, I don't know if it was discovering or just mapping out Newfoundland, because there was a Captain Cook that I want to say discovered Newfoundland, province of Newfoundland in Canada. A lot of things were named after him too. So I'm wondering if it's the same Captain Cook. I mean, granted, Cook is not an uncommon name, especially in Britain. So it could very well be completely different people. Yeah, because Cook is not an uncommon name. So, Albert, that's an excellent question, but my guess is when you have dense populations of humanity, you are a living, breathing petri dish, and you're gonna come up with all sorts of much more virulent and much more resistant kind of diseases. So yes, while native tribes may have their own diseases that they may be immune to, humanity in civilized areas, they're gonna create more, and they're gonna be far more resistant. Uh, So okay. So yeah, well, Cabot, I know about John Cabot. So I'm thinking maybe James. I'm thinking it's Captain James Cook may have like mapped out Newfoundland. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Is that Captain James Cook like mapped it out from the seas. Like maybe to establish trade routes. That may be what I'm thinking of. So It could be. And Mia, we're watching the Internet Historian's second channel about exploration.
Together. Grass skirt, loving it. Especially when there was a strong breeze.
Hawaiian shirts.
Moana on TV. And anyway, they were loving it. And then all of a sudden they see the natives and they're running up. And this time they got spears. And they're going, what's
Oopsie.
going on?
Hey, what the hell, man? Pretty sure I heard something different. That doesn't seem right.
Were you calling me a liar?
I don't know. I heard something different.
Yeah, hold on, let me Google. I'll Google it. Look, I found these ladies. They will be the arbiters of the whole thing.
Cook is
Oh, boy.
horrible because he brought disease. He's not terribly important. The best thing about him is that we killed him.
Oh no,
No, hold on. Let her cook. That's sick.
it's not very nice.
I'm glad we ate him.
This is where Cook went, took his diseases to the Maoris, to the Tahitians, whatever. We can say we Hawaiians took care of this problem. We killed Cook.
They didn't know about germ theory. He didn't know.
Honestly, this is feeling like what a lot of people are starting to say about Christopher Columbus. Remember Christopher Columbus was celebrated as having quote-unquote discovered America? Yes, I know he's not the first one to do it. No need to tell me, I know about it. But, for a very long time, Christopher Columbus was celebrated. There's a freaking holiday in the United States for it. And, 787, thank you for the follow. And there's a full holiday in the United States for Christopher Columbus. Now he's viewed as someone that slaughtered the native people. Like the changes, with people that are like all discoverers of America. The foundation of why the people in America currently exist, for the most part, they're all being hated on. I'm not going to say it's wrong because, granted, you've got, these people that are doing terrible things to the indigenous population. But at the same time, you have to understand that there's history. Yeah. Like, yeah, I know. Wait. The conquistadors. I thought that Columbus did things too. I thought that Columbus also had a part in it too when he first self-discovered America. I thought he had a part in that as well. I didn't pay attention to much of it, honestly, because I was not in school at the time. This was post-school, and quite frankly, I didn't care. Christopher Columbus Day was just another day. So, yeah, Lily, he wasn't a saint, and yeah, I've heard he was a dickhead. I honestly didn't follow it all that much because at the point in my life when all this started to come out, I just frankly didn't care. These multitude of holidays outside of the major ones, sometimes even the major ones, didn't really matter to me. It was just another day. It just happened to be a day where some stores were closed for it. That's it. That's all it was to me. So, yeah.
Oh? Alright, this lady didn't give us any substantial information. So we consulted Wikipedia as to what actually happened. Okay, so here's what happened. So, Cook, right, he returns, and it's not just him, there's other people with him. They return to Hawaii,
Yep.
and they need to do repairs because their ship, the mast is broken. While they're doing
Oops.
that, there's a series of thefts from Cook's camp. It says here that they stole iron tongs and baskets.
Oh.
So it's the valuable stuff, you gotta keep that in the vault.
The real high value items.
So they put up with the thieving and the pinching for a while, but then, so they've got these boats, right? So they park them in the ocean. You don't want to get too close to the beach. You don't want to get stuck on the shore. So you then
sure.
take these little boats all the way to the shore, and they're called cutters. At one point they discovered, hey, someone's stolen one of our little boats. So the next day, Cook and about 10 of his dudes, they march ashore, right? And they go up to the Hawaiian king, and his name is like Turiabu.
I was gonna say I'm surprised, but I really should be because they probably get like sued into oblivion that they didn't like switch this out with like The Rock. like try and get a still image of The Rock in full Hawaiian gear, but they probably would have gotten their asses sued off for it, be my guess.
And they go, "You're coming with us, fella. We're going to take you as a hostage, and then we're going to force the natives to return the boat, please. Also, I want those tongs back and that basket."
And also, how did you possibly get past our security to steal the tongs and basket?
But in the chaos, when they're trying to take the king, a Hawaiian chief shows up,
Okay.
and his name is like Kalimu, and he's shot and killed.
Real bad timing on his part.
Things have escalated from tongs and boats to murder.
I like to imagine he just pops into the hut like, oh, hey guys, what's happening here? Bang! just real wrong place, wrong time.
I got those 10 Hawaiian pizzas you ordered.
Pizza time.
So the natives, they get angry.
Understandably.
Cook and his crew, they take off running. They're going back for the longboats.
Yep.
They're like, we got to get out of there. We got to get off this island. We've made a big mistake.
Yep.
We gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go, we gotta go. Start the car! Start the car!
Huge. And then while they're pushing their boats into the water, Cook and the crew are attacked by the natives. Uh-oh. Now, they're fighting, and it's all in slow motion, and Cook turns around, he shoots and he kills a native warrior. At that point, he is then struck with a wooden club, and then someone stabs him with an iron dagger.
Real like level 1 goblin items to be killed by. He took a collective 12 damage from that.
Cook then fell down, and he, along with 4 other soldiers, were never seen again by the men, who escaped back to the Resolution, which is the big ship. And then they weirdly preserved his body and did a whole bunch of things. We can't show the images. It's very gruesome. I think they kind of liked him by the end. Yeah, at least once he was dead.
It's hard to be angry at a body, I guess.
Yeah, interesting.
What did they do to that body? What then? That they kind of liked him in the end. What did they do to that body? That kind of scares me. No, you don't. No, Luku, do not look it up. Do not look it up. Do not post shit in my stream. Do not do it. Ellery? Yeah, you may very well be correct. That actually sounds like it might be correct. And maybe that's why they liked him, because maybe he was tasty. I don't know.
Interesting.
That is, yeah, okay, that's very different to what I was led to believe. I would like to know how this other chief was shot and killed. Well, I suppose the instigating event was the theft, but that definitely escalated it a little bit. Like, how do you go from...
Yeah, the chief might have attacked him or something.
Okay, yeah, if it was a self-defense, then that would make a bit more sense. I'm so sorry to the editor who has to proofread all the nonsense that I've, all the nonsense and half-truths.
Yeah, things that we've, overheard in a fever dream.
Yeah, like vague, heard half of at a pub. Because
when we're in the club, or we're in the, somewhere cool. Me just with an ear to a glass at the toilet stall and at the kebab shop, and I'm just like, yeah, that's a good fact.
Yeah.
At a kebab shop? How did we go from a club to a kebab shop? Yeah, just all over the place here.
I'm gonna
put that's going
what else happened?
Right in the brain, right in the memory hole for later. They're gonna love this one.
Ad time. Nordman, I sentence you to 2 years in the prison, Slammer. But I'm innocent. And just so you learn a lesson, here's 4 additional months. Welcome to my life. In Schnorschnank Redemption. It's hell in here. They track your every move.
Prisoners, it's time for cookies. I hope you'll accept them.
There's no privacy in this jail at all. It's like a goddamn prison.
We have trackers all
Poor
over this
Nordman.
prison, and we're going to use that to collect data and sell it to marketers. But someone here has been using a VPN, and I have a suspicion of who it is.
I'll never rat out my crew, Warden.
Have it your way, then.
Just let
Can't
me out,
contain
Warden.
himself.
You don't have to make this such a huge deal.
Wait a minute. Something in my prison wallet.
Uh,
If you ever find yourself in the hole, use this. Saley eSIM.
The Saley eSIM gives you 20 gigabytes of mobile data, which you can use anywhere in the world. And then you pair it with the NordVPN app, and then you're totally anonymous as well, and you can pretty much go anywhere and do anything.
A gift when you sign up to NordVPN.
Interesting.
Hello, Nord 24-hour support hotline. I'm in solitary, and I'm feeling very alone right now.
Where did he go? Impossible!
Come with me.
I can't. I belong here. But where are you gonna go, kid?
With Nord's thousands of servers around the globe, anywhere but here.
Final call for the flight. All passengers please line up by the gate.
Not leaving so soon, are you?
Huh?
I changed my mind about jail.
Saley man? I sentence you to a life sentence with me.
Naughty Dufresne was never seen again by authorities.
Hey!
But he went on to commit many, many more crimes. So get NordVPN today with nordvpn.com/incognito.
Get a huge deal on a two-year plan plus 4 extra months.
And when you sign up using my link, you get a free eSIM with Saley. Hey, that's pretty good. Would you live at the bottom
Yeah, I guess they were really going all in for Pride Month with that commercial. Not too much of a surprise.
of the ocean?
Absolutely not. Not even.
No.
I don't even want to think about it. No. Look, I played Bioshock 1 and 2. That seems like an awful idea. It'd be fun to visit, maybe.
I'd quite like to live under the ocean.
Really?
That seems really neat, you know, live in a big glass semicircle.
You have like a chute, like a window that just opens up and just fish pour in, you close it, and that's your dinner. I just like to imagine like some like 1950s housewife just opening up the windows to get some air in and just a bunch of fish flopping. The apple pie on the windowsill just gets obliterated.
Now, I want to show you this because I saw this the other day and I thought it was very neat. Okay, so this is a very cool channel. It's called Natural World Facts, right? And this particular video is on brine pools.
Oh god, Chad, I think we're about to go into Reactception here. We're reacting to Internet Historian, and he's going to be reacting to this other channel. It's Reactception. I did not know this was happening. Brace yourselves.
And so what happens is, at the bottom of the ocean, there are different levels of salinity, and sometimes you end up with these pockets of exceedingly salty water. And they're usually filled with like sulfur and lots of other bad stuff too.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, this guy's, you know, here's this crab, and he's loving it, and look at all
Yeah.
these muscles.
Oh,
Brilliant.
you'd be stoked.
Absolutely. And then there's a pool over here, and somehow it's breached its wall, and then it's just slid downhill, and it spills out like a river running through the bottom of the ocean across the sea floor. And it just finds like its lowest point, right? Because it's heavier than the rest of the water.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And there's all these like oysters
Okay.
that are like, it's great being down here, lower than the brine pool. I'm loving this.
Look at those idiots up there stuck in the brine pool, unlike us.
Well, and what's interesting is like this has made it into mainstream film too. How many of you guys have seen the movie The Meg? The whole concept with The Meg is that at the bottom of the Marianas Trench, the theory was that it wasn't actually the bottom, that it was a sulfur cloud, like they were just talking about, and that the bottom is actually even deeper. And the whole setup was they sent a dive team down to test this, and it actually goes through the sulfur cloud, and there's a whole other like space underneath this sulfur cloud where there's all kinds of different aquatic life, including the Meg. Yeah, exactly. That was the whole concept of it, is that the sulfur cloud was so dense, all previous radar scans thought it was a bottom. This scientist thought, maybe it's not. Maybe it's a sulfur cloud. Why he thought that, don't know. But it's cool that, putting everything else aside that's fantastical with that movie, The Meg, is that aspect of it is real, is possible. And I always love that. I always love when movies put in stuff where it's like, this seems fantastical, but it actually can happen. I love shit like that. It makes it all that much cooler.
Downhill
No,
Chads.
Food's
not
falling
Sharknado.
down here all the time. We're getting big and fat and we love it.
The downhill Chad versus the brine pooled virgin.
And then it's like, hey, what's that? What's that smell? Is it getting darker? 5 seconds later, he's like, I can't get out of the way. I can't get out of the way. And they just get devastated.
So it really is like the Goo Lagoon and SpongeBob, like how they have water. It's the sequel to
Yes.
water. There's water inside water. It's crazy that it is just so much darker. Like in a fantasy game, that would be the void or the.
Ellery, Sharknado is absolute glorious schlock. Absolutely glorious schlock. And yeah, it just gets crazier and stupider with every sequel, as was intended. And it worked. People tuned in to see every single one of them. And they got some big names in it. I think they got Dolph Lundgren in it. They got Neil deGrasse Tyson in it. They got Dog the Bounty Hunter. They got Bill Engvall in it. And that's just a fraction of people. I mean, it was a great series. It was hysterical.
The dark evil that seeps across the land.
Look at these stupid fish. Like, they can see it's just death incarnate, and then,
What's down here?
oh, I'm dying. I'm dying. I'm dead.
Yeah, fish are stupid. I think if they had eyebrows, we'd feel bad for them.
Right.
But they don't. So, like, if
Yeah.
you saw someone, like, throw a puppy off a cliff, you'd feel horrible.
Right.
The fuck was that from? What the fuck was that from? Where the guy kicked the puppy? I know he didn't really kick the puppy, but what movie was that from? Holy shit. I don't... That was Anchorman?
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Right.
But, like, discusing a fish off a cliff, that would honestly be one of the funniest things I've ever seen. They're so alien looking, they can't emote that you don't really feel bad for them. I feel like being a fish is literally the
Talladega
worst
Nights,
animal
Tysel.
you could roll.
Yeah.
Because, like,
Yeah, Tysel, you're thinking Talladega Nights. I'd never actually seen it, though.
at least if you're a land mammal, you can at least see the world around you.
Right.
Fish is like, you can see at most 2 to 5 meters in front of you.
Yeah, you got your eyes at the side of your head.
At any point, you can just get Five Nights at Freddy's jump scared by like a bigger fish, of which there is like
Jesus.
infinite amounts of.
Like, oh, wow, look, a tasty morsel. That thing looks delicious. So I go and I take a little bite. Oh my god, something's pulling on my face. Something's pulling on my fucking face. And then you know what? You might pull a cool trick and somehow you might get loose of the line and you go, whoa, that wasn't a tasty morsel at all. I got tricked. Oh, there's something in my mouth. And you've just got the hook now forever. It's like, there's something between my two.
Well, and let's not forget, even if you get free, you're still gonna hit when it happens again, because 10 minutes later, another worm comes out saying, "Oh, a tasty morsel, and he's right back at it again.
Hey, Steve, could you get this?
Could you imagine just having, even just the idea of like something between your teeth and you can't do anything about it? But imagine, then just having like a piece of shrapnel in your face that's just stuck there. And not only do you not have the capability of removing it, nobody you
Nobody
know
else
does.
And no one feels any sympathy either. At best, you get you got a new
Hey, he's already got the mohawk. He's already halfway there. He's got the mohawk.
piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, Jeff's gone metal, huh?
Well, I think it's because no matter what, the fish's life ends in a brutal and violent way.
Yes.
There is no fish retirement.
The fish grows old and grey and slumps off from the herd to die a peaceful life amongst the trees and
Yeah, just the piercing itself does not count. You have to layer. It's all about the layering. Yeah.
Hold my fin.
I see the light. No, it's getting eaten, torn apart. Your cheeks getting pulled by a rod. You're getting dissolved by stomach acid alongside 500 other fish in the whale's guts. You're drowning in saltier water. There's no good out.
No.
For a fish. Because, the idea of being a fish is like, you're in like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 24/7.
Every direction they turn around, you hear the revving of the chainsaw.
You're literally running 24/7, except you've also got 2 extra axes to deal with because a fish could come from above or below too.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that.
You can't like hide behind a bush. I guess you could hide in some rocks on the seabed. And also visibility, right? Like, unless you're in crystal clear waters.
And there's no way that they're not weirded out by the deep sea fish either. Like, they must be looking at some of those guys and being like, they look fucking weird.
But you reckon they're like, it's like, they can't bring it up. Kind of offensive. Like,
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, they're just...
Well, snowman, fish is where we came from, so actually probably more like crustaceans is probably where we came from, so yeah. No, Mia, I don't think I saw that. I'm glad I didn't. That's not something I want to see.
like, the little fish kids. They go, no, don't be insensitive. Hey.
It's like when a child sees like a disabled person and starts like pointing at them or whatever, and just like, no, that's just how they are. It's okay.
Would you ever want to climb a mountain?
I wouldn't climb a mountain. I'd walk up one. I would never do Everest. There's like a pretty high percentage chance you don't get out of that.
I just don't see the appeal. You got to take like 3 weeks off work.
Yeah, there's a good chance you'll just die in one of the worst ways, like either getting crushed or rolling down a hill or falling down a crevasse and breaking your leg and just starving to death. Like there's innumerable ways you could die. I'm sure the view is spectacular.
I don't think it is. I think you can barely see anything.
That's what I'm saying. But even what you do see is like when it's something like this, like the image you have there, it's like, oh, you just see more snowy rocks. It's not like you climb to the top of a...
I've seen a couple of videos about Mount Everest and climbing Mount Everest. It's a fucking horror show because of how overpopulated the trails have become with Everest. Who is it? I saw something on like last week tonight, and I've seen a couple other YouTube videos. Like the whole concept of climbing Mount Everest is just fucking insane. It's literally become a tourist trap that kills people, which is crazy. I remember one time it was like one of the guides or something got on one of the guides was getting on the radio like apologizing because of his stupid fucking clients or something, because everybody came to a dead stop because his client was slow or something like that. Yeah, it's the rich fuckers. They can't be bothered to carry their trash in their packs or anything. It's full of, it's absolutely full of trash. I remember hearing the story about this one rich, I think it was a woman. I believe it was a woman, I think. Some rich bitch that, like, she had problems. Like, serious problems. And the Sherpa actually bundled her ass up, stuck her on his back, and backpacked her ass down the hill himself. The Sherpa did this because she like got injured or got sick or something. They had to get her off the mountain. So this man hauled her ass down the mountain. When she had a press conference after she recovered, you know who she thanked? She thanked like her agent. Didn't thank the Sherpa even once. She only thanked him when people called her out on it and she threw out like some kind of press release. Didn't even say it. It's like the concept of climbing Mount Everest has become a tourist trap. It kind of means something now, but it doesn't mean anywhere what it used to. And it's just humans, man. Humans. Reject humanity. Return to anime. And 0 Point, thank you for the follow and welcome.
A nice hill and Yellowstone Valley.
There's no nice restaurant up there.
No, exactly. You're not uncovering like a hidden lagoon or.
Well, Tysel, you're obviously not watching the right anime.
Valley or something, and especially like Mount Everest as well. You're doing it with like 600,000 other people, so it's like I've heard during peak time of the year, it's literally like a conga line to the top of the mountain. So it's not even like you're like a bold explorer going where no one's gone before. Didn't someone do it in like shorts? One of those like guys who says they can like control their body temperature. I'm not kidding. I think a guy did do that. Is it? Yeah, it's Wim Hof. I thought it was him. The Iceman says he's able to like regulate his body temperature and shit.
There must be something to it if he can.
Yeah,
if he didn't die,
you'd be pissed off, wouldn't you? Like you've spent several $1,000s.
If anybody could do it, you could do it.
Kidding yourself out, and you just see some guy.
Yeah, it feels like you're way topping everybody.
It's already impressive to climb to the top, and now he's like doing it even better than you. He's like, come on, man, at least let me have this. Wasn't Dark Souls, you can pick your class and you can be like, is it depraved or something? You're just in your...
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean.
He's just combat rolling to the top of the top of the mountain.
Watch out.
Okay, let me tell you what I explored.
Okay.
I explored the bookshop on the weekend.
That's like a mental exploration.
I used to have a lot of books, like a lot of books.
You seem well read.
I'm not particularly well read. Well read.
He likes to have the books just as a attraction. It's like, look at all these books. Aren't I smart?
But what happened was, I used to buy books for $1.
Sure.
Very quickly, I accumulated a lot of books. And anyway, I moved to one place and then a flood hit. And then I moved to another place. They got kind of left to the elements and so much dust got in there. So
I feel this. I used to be a huge comic book collector. Huge comic book collector. I literally had a full-on trunk, jam-packed, fully of comics. And I'm talking about some real classic ones. I'm talking about I had Uncanny X-Men #1. I had the new the X-Men #1 from when he was like the 3-cover variant when the new teams came together. The Wolverine #1, the first issue from his own series. Like I had so many comics, and this was a Foot Locker, jam-packed full of comics. It probably would be worth thousands of dollars today. And then a flood happened in my basement. And I couldn't stop it. And I lost all of it. I lost all my comics in the flood. Oh, God, that was a painful experience. Yeah. That was heartbreaking because back then I was huge into comics. I was absolutely huge into comics. And one day, just a really bad rainstorm, and it wasn't sewer, but like it was like a drainage in my basement, backed up, and I got like 1.5 feet, 2 feet of water, and my whole Foot Locker full of comics just submerged. Oh, God. Yeah, I was. I was house guest. Like, I'd been collecting these for years. And it was so fucking painful. And like I said, I had some, like, these were like, now, these would have been valuable as hell. But it was also the memories of getting them and going on the adventures and everything. And it's just, oh. And I haven't picked up a comic since. For a multitude of reasons. Not like that traumatized me to never buy a comic book again or anything like that. It was nothing like that. But, I mean, this was like a part of my history. And a big reason, it's why I was so into primarily Marvel. DC was okay, but I was definitely a Marvel person. But yeah, it's losing memories and it's definitely losing money. Yep. That just him talking about what happens with his books just made me remember that. I haven't thought about that for a while. Phew. Yeah, that's something. It did. It did, Taisa. Alright, out of my memories, back onto the video.
I went full 1930s mode, and I had a fire in the
You did a
backyard.
book burning.
Yeah, I had a book burning of my own stuff. And I thought, I'm just going to start the collection again. And so this weekend, I went to the bookstore and I got some better books. Some books.
$2.
I got some books with pictures in them.
So comics or like children's books.
So they've got a whole aisle now dedicated to manga.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, manga is a hell of a lot better than anything Western comics are putting out these days.
I think it's pronounced mango.
And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what all the fuss is about. And so they had these books on like Junji Ito, and I thought, well, yeah, it's quite spooky. I like spooky stories.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yep.
So I got a couple of those. I'm wandering around, and I get to the like mystical aisle, and I thought, oh, this would be funny. I'll buy her story and like a book on witchcraft. And then when people come around and visit, I'll like leave it on the coffee table, and I'll tell people that her historian's really into this stuff now.
Oh, dog-eared with like a bookmark in it. And...
Yeah, yeah. So I'm in that sort of aisle.
You cannot have a book on witchcraft with little post-it note stickies and dog ear in it. You've got to have the classic brass with tassel coming off of it bookmark sitting into it. Do that or go the fuck home. You don't put post-it notes on a witchcraft book. No way.
Aisle, and there's a whole bunch of tarot cards there.
Oh.
Yeah, let's have a look at that. So I look at those. I pick it up, and the box feels very light. I mean, oh, that's weird. And it says on a sticker, please see at the counter. They can't trust tarot cards in the store regular. Interesting.
No comment, house guest.
So I went to the front counter, and I bought my couple of books, and I said to the lady, "Why are all the tarot cards behind the counter?" And she goes, "There's so much shoplifting of tarot cards."
I said no comment.
Gloves together, grass skirt, loving it, especially when there was a strong breeze.
Oh shit. Okay, I think I got it.
Regular. Interesting. So I went to the front counter, and I bought my couple of books, and I said to the lady, "Why are all the tarot cards behind the counter?" And she goes, "There's so much shoplifting of tarot cards. It's like the most stolen thing in the whole store."
Oh, wow. I would not have picked that.
No, I wouldn't even.
I would have. And I totally understand why tarot cards would be the most stolen thing. Is because, well, okay, very simple, Tysel. Teenage girls, probably about the mid-2000s, mid-2010s, they got really big into, like, witchcraft. Like, there was this surge of, like, witchcraft enjoyment in, like, teenage girls. I'd say it was around, like, the mid-2000s, 2010s. And tarot cards, that's, like, an intrinsic part. Like, just having a book on witchcraft, okay, big fucking deal. You have a book. But with tarot cards, you can actually, like, with all your girlfriends around, you can actually do a reading with a little slip of paper that tells you how to do it, and it feels like, oh, we're doing witchcraft, and so it was an actual witchy thing that you could do. And no, summoning demons. That's with the Ouija board, not with the tarot cards. Uh, but like with the tarot cards, it's like they can actually do something with them, and they can have their friends around and giggling and oohing and eyeing, and like back then, like there was this big rise in popularity in witchcraft because I think like Charmed was out back then, and so the whole concept of witches was really popular. It hit the popularity spike back then. Not so much supernatural. This is a little bit before supernatural, I'd say. I think Charmed was a big one. The movie The Craft was a big part of it. So like the whole concept of like the cool urban punk witches or the urban witches was probably really popular around this time. And so, tarot cards, yeah, they're easy to they're easy to swipe, and they're easy for you to be a witchy girl. So that's likely the reason why.
Either. I thought that was so interesting. And I said, so what's number 2? And then she points down at my book. She goes, we've got a copy of Berserk up the back, and we don't even keep it at the front counter.
Yeah.
That is a very wise choice to keep the copy of Berserk locked up in the back. That's a very wise choice.
Keep it in the storage out the back.
That does not surprise me because I've tried to buy the first edition of Berserk, so I'm like, I want to read this, but it's never anywhere, and I just assumed, it's so popular that it's sold out.
Yeah,
but that makes way
it
more
is.
sense that people are just shanghaiing it.
Hey.
That was Charmed. Alyssa Milano was in Charmed along with Shannon Doherty, and I forget the third actress who played Piper. And then Shannon Doherty left the show, and she was replaced by I can't remember what her name is, but yeah, you're thinking of Charmed.
Yeah. She also said, like, well, the reason that the tarot cards are stolen so often is because they're so easy to resell.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sure. Would stealing them not imbue them with some dark energy,
I don't
or does
buy
that
that.
like activate their powers? Now, ironically, if the
I like my reason better, so I'm sticking with my reason.
store actually used the tarot
Yeah,
cards,
also
they would
correct
know
myself.
that they're
Also
about to
correct.
get stolen from.
Yeah, it's like how no one steals a Ouija board because you always see it coming.
It's funny how recent Ouija boards are.
Yeah, I've heard it's Parker Brothers thing. isn't
Yeah,
it?
it was just some goofy.
Potato, are you asking me? It's a good question. I mean, Buffy is what started it, and then of course Angel came afterwards. Oof. That's a tough call, honestly. I would say I think I liked Angel more because Angel did more. It had more settings, it had more interesting stories. 'Cause they were, there was, 'cause he was doing his detective agency thing there. So I do think I liked Angel more because it told better stories. More, darker, and in the end, more tragic stories. So, yeah, I'll go with Angel.
Board game from like the 60s. It'd
Got questions? Don't be left in the dark. New glow-in-the-dark Ouija.
be like if Mousetrap turned out to be haunted or something.
Oh, yeah, no, I like that. It's like, whatever you do, do not go seeking the cheese. I did once. And boy, do I regret it.
Do you remember the Mousetrap ad?
It's
That's
a crazy
the only thing I-
contraption. Wait,
No, it's the crazy action. Something action. The crazy contraption. The fun is catching its mousetrap. Fuck.
what they should have for
How
the
the hell
tarot
did
cards,
we get here?
they're plated in such a way that you just want to steal them. Even if you have no interest in stealing tarot cards, you're like, oh, I could fully take that so easily.
Yeah.
But you do, and then all of a sudden you start hearing like clinks and dinks of small ball bearings rolling around. A giant plastic cage lands on top of you. I don't know how that works with OSHA, but I reckon we could get it pushed through.
Hi, 60. Hi, 60. They welcome to fun.
Old video games, especially old online games, are very creepy in a very liminal space kind of way.
That's true.
You know, the graphics are all like very outdated, and you'll be playing games where there'll be the implication of a wider world, but you just know, and the reality is there's nothing there. Like, if I could just jump over this wall, I'm in a void.
Oh, yeah, right, yeah. Like you're playing Pokemon or something, and you actually manage to move the truck, and there's a door.
And you step into the door.
Yeah, and you go inside, right? And it's like a liminal space, which is very scary.
Yeah.
And it's like a cave. You're expecting to encounter Dugtrio and Zubats, but instead it's nothing. As I walked through the cave, it got darker and darker, and I started to notice some strange things. There were skeletons. What's the bit? It's called like Pokemon Death Black? Or
No,
like...
it has to be called Pokemon Blood Red or something. Pokemon, what's this?
Yeah, Tysel, he is getting really fucking random right now. I'm trying to figure out how the hell we got here at this point, but hey, I'm here for it.
Scary color. Pokemon Grey, actually, that's kind of cool. That's a liminal color.
Is there like an adjective we can throw on it? Like
No.
What about like morbid gray?
I feel Pokemon Grey. I feel
green.
Like Pokemon Kill Your Parents Orange.
Where does this go?
I got it.
Yeah.
The weird thing was, the man at the EB Games insisted that this was the best version. It's weird though. Never seen that man working there before.
When he spoke backwards and in tongues. But I thought he had just had an aneurysm. I just shrugged. It out, it's perfect.
I walk up to one of the corpses and push A, expecting a dialogue box to open up, and one did. But it was blank, as though the programmers had forgotten to type anything in. And that was when it happened. The Pokemon battle music started playing.
But backwards.
And all distorted.
Eventually, I came to a crossroads. I could either go left or right.
Okay, I have never played Pokemon before. Can anyone tell me, is this real, what they're talking about? No, Ace, I've never played Pokemon before. Okay, it's not. Okay, I've been sitting here wondering, I'm like, are they just making this shit up just for the video, or they're doing a creepypasta? Okay. Alright, fair enough. Like, I had no frame of reference, so I didn't know if this was just something they're fucking around with, or if this was actually in the game, so, okay.
So I turned right, and as I got to the end of that path, there was another intersection. So I turned right. Eventually I got tired. I went onto the darknet, and I started asking, what's going on? And then someone finally replied, never go left. Luckily, till then, I had only ever gone right, and the username was just
H3LPM3.
I logged back onto my Game Boy. I turned left. That's when it happened. I blacked out. In the game and in real life. I woke up the next day and I went outside. I was suddenly in the cave in real life. I yelled out into the cave, hello? Is anybody there?
But all I heard back was echoes. As time went on though, the echoes started to become more distorted.
It was surreal. It was more than surreal. It was liminal.
My dad's gonna kill me.
That's it. They've always got their priorities wrong, yeah.
I came across several piles of bones.
I bent down over one of the skeletons and I saw in its pocket a journal. I opened the journal and I read the first page. It said, I'm so happy. Today I just bought my copy of Pokemon Grey.
All this is written down in a journal.
I flipped through the pages and then I found it. They said they found the truck too. They went into the cave as well. And now they're saying that they're lost in the cave.
This person's style of writing was familiar.
Oh my god.
My suspicions were confirmed when I got to the final page. All that it was hundreds and hundreds of scratchings that said, "Don't go left."
Then I saw it. They signed their name at the bottom of their last journal entry.
It was my name. Calling it.
H3LPM3.
That's when I realized it was saying I walked around in the game a little bit more until I saw the first human figure I'd seen in this cave in the game.
I started to get closer to...
Okay, that looks like a bad combination of Ash and Rick. Please, internet historian, make this come true. Make it a combination of Ash and Rick. Please.
To Ash Ketchum, but he wasn't usual. He was 18 feet tall.
Oh, damn it.
His limbs were all very lanky, not like in the cartoons. Instead of, "I want to be the best," he said, "I want to kill everybody."
And as his face got closer, it was like my vision was overcome with TV static.
And I blacked out. When I woke up, I was in a strange, new place. It was still the cave, but in the distance, I could see lights like those.
What the actual fuck here? These guys have just gone on a tangent. Like, holy shit. Whoever at the beginning when we first started watching this video, whoever suggested that these guys might have been high when they made this, I'm thinking you're right. At this point, I'm thinking you are 100% right.
Of a hospital room. There was a hospital bed in the cave. And Ash Ketchum was in the hospital bed. I went over there to see what was going on. And as I got up right next to Ash, I realized he's been in a coma the whole time. Wait a minute. I had seen a theory about this.
That's when I looked back again and I realized.
What was it?
Ash had my face. What if his mouth just opened and it played like the garbled, creepy Pokemon cries?
Because we've done that 8 times. That's why we can't do that.
But what if we did it a 9th time?
It can't be more static. He can't open his mouth and more static comes out. Like
he can! I blinked and now I was in the bed, looking up. But I was no longer in the cave.
I was in the hospital. I had just woken up and my parents were around me. They said that I fainted.
I was looking around for my Game Boy Color, but I couldn't see it anywhere. I asked my dad, and he said, "It's at home, but we haven't even bought you a single game to play in it yet."
You've been playing an empty Game Boy the whole time.
This experience shook me to my core, but my dad and mum both reassured me that everything will be all right. Anyway, this might be my last journal entry for a few weeks. Me and my parents are going to go on holiday tomorrow to visit New York City. Thanks, everyone. Dated September 10th,
oh, for
2001.
Fuck's sake.
Jesus Christ, that's...
For fuck's sake. Okay, this was supposed to be a video about exploration, right? How in the fuck did we get here? How the fuck did we get here? I mean, my God. This is taking a turn. I never thought they went left. That's what it was. They went left. Blake, we started talking about exploration and how Captain Cook was an explorer that found the Hawaiian Islands and people maybe climbing Mount Everest, and we suddenly went into video games where they started creating a fucking copy pasta for Pokemon Gray that sounds like something out of a bad drug trip. Which one of you chat gave me the fucking mushrooms? I swear to God, one of you guys must have slipped me some mushrooms. Because that's the only explanation for what I am watching right now. Is I must be tripping balls right now to be watching this. That is my only explanation. The actual fuck. Oh, thanks, Clockwork. Thanks so much. How am I going to explain this in the morning?
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
So stupid. A few weeks later, I was at a cafe out with my girl when all of a sudden I looked across the table and what I saw,
no.
it shocked me to my core. The guy from EB Games is just like there, like Michael Caine giving like a knowing nod at the end of Batman.
Yeah. Like a pedestrian walks past and he's gone.
That's it, yeah. Or it's got to be like a suspenseful thing, like, uh-oh, think of what the ramifications for the whole world will be. So, over the years, I've tried to put that all behind me, keep it out of my memory. Maybe it really was all just a dream. Except, one day, I was browsing the Pirate Bay.
Yeah.
And someone had
Jesus.
uploaded the ROM, Pokémon Void Black. There it was. And it had been downloaded 30 million times.
I clicked on it, and the description was just an assy art picture of Ash Ketchum's face in the bed. Exactly how I remember it.
I ran downstairs. I knew my dad liked to use
they're
the
not
Pirate
done.
Bay. I went into his study. I burst through the door. Don't play that ROM. But when I opened the door to his office, there was just a chair, an empty pile of clothes, and the ROM was open. He had gone to a liminal space, and I would never see him again.
All I heard was that familiar beat. Beep, 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 beep.
Thanks again to NordVPN. Don't forget to get a huge deal on our 2-year plan.
Jesus.
Weapons.
Okay, why jump the head
Brought to
like
you
that?
by
I don't know, but
NordVPN.
maybe... What the actual fuck? No, no. I cannot take another one of those tonight. I've already taken one turn that has got my head fucking reeling right now. I can't do that a second time.